Hello, Jeff Gibby here. Today I'm going to talk to you about our brand new product, Jeff Tompkins TradeTrend. So, thanks for watching the video. Let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about Jeff Tompkins. I met him a little bit toward last year. Was very impressed by the courses that he's done on Udemy.com, among quite a few other places. Very, very impressed with the momentum methodologies he was using in his trade. And so we approached him, and of course, we developed his his methodologies into an add-on for Metastock. And I want to show you exactly how well that works and what it looks like in a Metastock environment. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I really just want to show you a chart of, we'll start with Xerox. I'm going to show you a couple of examples just to kind of give you an idea of the proprietary blend of indicators that he's using and how he generates crystal clear entry and exits on the chart. So we'll go ahead and kind of break down some of the components of the chart. I'll show you the commentaries that are included and kind of just show you how well this works on a chart. So this is Xerox Corporation. I want to point out a few things. Obviously, you can see the buy and the exit signals here on the chart. This system accompanies with a setup. So this green diamond here indicates that the system is sensing a potential entry opportunity. That can be followed by a entry signal, and it's usually within 1 or 2 bars that it's going to actually kind of show an entry signal. So if you have a green diamond on the chart, it's going to show a potential momentum move to the top side, and it's going to give you a trigger to go ahead and get in if it kind of fills that trade. Up above, you'll see the red triangles. That's the same thing. Basically, when you have a red diamond on the chart, it's basically telling you that there's a setup for a short condition. Now, if you're not familiar with Metastock, probably haven't heard of the Expert Advisor and the Expert Advisor commentary. I want to show you exactly how that works and how you can kind of get a detailed breakdown of how the trade is going to work and all that kind of stuff. So let me go ahead and open up. I'm going to go ahead and click on View Expert Commentary right here. And you'll notice when I open up that window, what you're going to get is you're going to get a triangle that appears right here on the chart. Okay. Now, obviously, we don't have anything to do today. We're not in a long trade or a short trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk you through this latest trade example. So let me zoom into the chart just a little bit here. We're going to go back to where the setup diamond occurred, and we're going to assume we ran a scan using Metastock to find Xerox right here where this setup bar occurred. So if we're looking at this for the first time today, it's going to basically give us the long position analysis. The trade trend projects a move up. The criteria for a buy setup has occurred based on the alignment of technical patterns, including volume, volatility, momentum, and other trend factors. The probability of prices moving in the anticipated direction is currently at its highest. It's suggested that you take an entry price of $19.69 using a buy stop order. However, do not take the trade if the price goes above $20.27. And if a trade is entered, the initial trailing stop is going to be $8.57. So initially on that buy day, you're going to know exactly where you should buy it, what price you should buy it, if it gaps up to a certain price where you should ignore it, and what your initial stop loss should be. Okay. On the very next bar, in this case we're looking at a daily chart, but on the very next day, what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and trigger into that trade. So if I go to the next day in our analytics, what you're going to see is the current suggested long entry trigger price was reached, initiating a long position. The stop value for tomorrow's trading is $18.57. And that stop's going to adjust as we go through the trade. So if we look at the very next day, it didn't move on this particular day. There wasn't enough of an upward movement. So let's skip forward a couple of days. And here it's moved that stop loss up to 1933 for you. The other thing that I kind of like about this system is as something gets extended in a trend, it's going to slightly highlight the color of the bar quite differently. And so if we come to kind of where this trend is getting a little bit let's say old, you'll notice that the commentary changes and the color of the bar actually changes. So in this case, it says an existing long position is open. The market is not favorable for this trade as it used to be. The stop has been tightened to help preserve any profits gained thus far, and your stop value should now be 21.66. So what the system is actually doing here is as momentum starts to go out of this stock, and as the trade gets a little bit less favorable, the system will actually go into a tighter stop mode to help you kind of preserve those profits. There's a couple of other examples I want to show you. One of the things that I was pretty impressed with this thing is how well it actually works. So let me show you a couple of other stocks that you might be familiar with. Here is BBY, Best Buy. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and load the data in here for it. And I'll zoom out a little bit just to kind of give you an idea of where these trades come in. So you see here with Best Buy, you had a setup, you had a short, it went into a long trade. Both of those trades were profitable. The second one, maybe not as much as the first one. Here you had a setup followed by a confirmation, a trigger, and a nice move down. Here you've had a setup to the long side, a long trade, and currently just barely got out of that long position. Okay, let's look at just a couple more. Here's UAA, Under Armour. Go ahead and load it up. Here again, you had a nice setup, a pretty good move to the upside, getting you out for a profit. Here you had a setup to the short side, getting you into a short trade, and you rode it right down to this buy setup that just happened. This last trade wouldn't have been very successful. This one would have been really good. This one would have been really good. And let's look at Halliburton. One last example for you. Okay. So here's Halliburton. Here, we're currently in a long position. If we looked at our commentary, we'd know exactly what our stop price should be. But here you had that buy setup, which is indicated by the diamond on the chart, the trigger followed by a nice move up. And that's one of the things that I found kind of particularly impressive was all of the stocks I looked like they were getting some really, really good trades. But you don't have to take my word for it. One of the things that's available as part of this add-on is the ability to go in and do a system test. And so let me show you exactly what that looks like. With the system tester, if you're not familiar with Metastock, what it allows you to do is it allows you to go in and say, okay, here's a list of stocks. Tell me the ones that this strategy performed best with. And I'm just going to show you the results of that system test real quick. So let me go ahead and go to our system tester. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and find the TradeTrend system here in my list of system tests. And I'm just going to go ahead and open up the report. This is a report I opened up this morning. It's the 14th of January. We'll go ahead and take a look at kind of exactly how well it works over time. Now, for this particular system, I started with $10,000. I had it historically test 1 year of trading data. Right now, if you look at the market as of today, the last year we've actually lost money if you're a buy and hold trader, if you look at the Dow or the S&P 500. But with this particular TradeTrend methodology, one of the things I want to point out is the amount of instruments this actually works with. And the amount with any system that you have, you're going to have some systems that don't work very well. Over here are systems that do not, or stocks that didn't work well with this strategy. But overall, the system tests really, really well with the market. And one of the things that I love about the system tester is it allows you to go in and pick out which stocks work best with this system test. So for example, going back a year in time, if we would have started trading Chesapeake last year, 1 year ago today, and took every single buy and sell signal, we'd be up about 150%, 149.57. Here's Hess Ordinary. It's up about 96% over the last year. You've got Cinemark. You've got the example I decided to show you today of Xerox, which was up about 90% last year. You've got Perigo. And as you'll notice, the vast majority of these are profitable, but the ability to do system testing allows you to go in and find the ones that work the best over the last, in this case, 1 year. Okay? The other thing I want to show you as part of the demo is one of my favorite features of Metastock, and that's the ability for us to go in and find a trade. So let me show you exactly how that works with the TradeTrend. I'm going to go ahead and close out this. We have the ability to go in and do what we call a scan or an exploration. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the Explorer here. And I've already run these, but I'll just show you how you run them. With the plugin that we've developed with Jeff Tompkins, we have a long entry, or I'm sorry, a long setup and a short setup. So I've selected both of these. I'm going to run these against the S&P 500. You can see that that's selected right here. I'll go ahead and start the exploration, and you'll notice that it's almost through already. It's chunked through the long setups here, and now it's going to go through the short setups real quick. So if I'm looking for a long setup in the market today, right here out of the 500 S&P stocks, I have basically 12 that have a setup that I can look at. Okay, so right here we've got the close price of the security, you've got the entry, the maximum entry that you can actually do. Again, that's the maximum price you should be looking to buy that particular instrument for, and then your initial stop loss. And right here where it says good for, basically this is how many bars you should let it go before you place a trade. So for example, right here with the Line Technology Ordinary, it's good for 0 bars, meaning that if it doesn't fill today, you shouldn't trade it. Okay, here's Anthem Ordinary. Again, if it doesn't fill today, you shouldn't trade it. Okay, down here where it's 1, that's Aetna Ordinary. If it actually fills today or tomorrow, you can go ahead and take that trade, and that number goes from 0 to 3. So you get a good idea of exactly how long the signal is valid for, where you should go ahead and place that entry, where your stop loss and your maximum price. Great way to build a watch list of stocks that are available to trade. I keep saying stocks, and I'm going to go ahead and step back a little bit because Jeff actually does use this with futures and forex, and you can apply it to any instrument that you want. I just trade stocks, so I have a tendency to say stocks a lot when I'm doing a presentation. So, and in a nutshell, that's really the TradeTrend methodology. That's what it's designed to do. Again, it's a momentum-based system. It looks to kind of tell you when volume and volatility match up to give you a setup. It walks you through that trade, tells you exactly where to buy. It's going to give you those real-time signals, the detailed commentary that I showed you, the full market scanning, the system testing, and it comes with a comprehensive user's manual. Okay, included in this system is 2 templates, the Expert Advisor, the Exploration, and the System Test. And you can get it for just $90 a month or $972 per year. And I'd encourage you to give it a go. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you at the next one.